What's up, everybody? Welcome, Closer Nation, to another episode of the Hardcore Closer Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Stewman. And before we get started, I always just like to start this off with giving you guys a gift. Sometimes it's the gift of phone sites, but today it's the gift of free money from the government. Listen, before I tell you how to get free money from the government, which is exactly what I'm going to do, so pay close attention, I want to rewire your mind for a second. Most people think, oh, I'm not going to take a handout. I'm not going to be one of those bitch-ass motherfuckers that takes a handout from the government. It's not a handout, okay? It's your money, okay? I repeat, it's your money. You paid this money in taxes over time in one way or another, and you have an opportunity to get some money back from the government. The government never goes, hey, you want some free money? This is that one fucking time, and that window is closing. Okay, this is the greatest sales pitch ever. Like free money from the government, scarcity. What else? Could I throw a buy one, get one free? Anyway, you get the point. So there is something called employee retention credits, okay? ERC. And the government says that during the scamdemic, yes, that's right. Okay, I pronounced that correctly. Okay, so the government says that during that time, if you retained, hired, trained, and paid employees, whether you grew or shrunk, if you trained, hired, retained employees, you qualify for some credits in some way or another. Now, there's a whole process you got to go through, but I sent like 10 of my friends over here as a test run, and one of them got millions of dollars, millions of fucking dollars from the government. You don't have to pay it back. I don't think they tell you what to do with it. I'm sure this company that I'm about to give you the plug with to get this money will walk you through all this shit, but I'm pretty sure it's like, hey, thank you for not firing, or thank you for hiring, or just thank you for existing, money from the government, right? It's not PPP, it's not EIDL, so it's not like it's got to be paid back. This is some sort of credit, right? So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to go to apexerc.com. apexerc.com. It's the first time I say that. I want to make sure that I got the website right. Like, be prepared here. I don't want y'all to be blowing me up. Yes, apexerc.com. And just fill out the information. You're not going to pay anything. Literally, there's nothing for sale here. There's no upfront consultation fee. I'm telling you, it's the fucking greatest sales pitch on the planet. No upfront sales. It's scarcity and free money. So basically, free money, scarcity, go get your fucking money from the government. apexerc.com. But here's what I want. Okay, this is what I'm asking. If you get some money from this program, holla at your boy and join Apex if you're not already in, right? The least you can do to repay me for hooking you the fuck up is come be a part of our network and represent what winning looks like. You're going to win a little free money from the government. Come win with us all the time, all day, every day at Apex, right? All right. See, free money. I give you free money. The least you can do is fucking come and give me some of it back, and then help me make even more. Let you make even more.
I'm just waiting to get out of here so I can go file for mine.
I filed for mine. Shit. Man, I got our close homeboy. I'm not gonna say on here, but I got our very close homeboy $1.2 million, man. That's life-changing money. It solves all the fucking problems that they had in their business because they're growing. Solves all their problems. Bam. It's like, I'm probably that guy's hero. He's going to name his next baby after me. You know what I'm saying?
That would be pretty rad.
That will. So I got my man, Drewby Wilson, on here. Drewby, thanks for hanging out.
Yes, sir. Glad to be here. Appreciate you.
And Drewby, in my professional opinion, is one of the best salespeople in the game right now. And I get to watch him perform on a daily basis. We've been working together for almost 4 years now. And the thing that makes him so good is he's unique, right? He doesn't, if you're watching this on camera, he doesn't look like a traditional suit and tie sales guy. He's got, meme lord tattooed on his knuckles. We'll get back to that here in a minute. But Drewby literally closes sales with memes. And, right now we're watching that Chris Rock, Will Smith meme go around. And I saw, like, even your culture, the group that you've built, like, they were like, oh, shit, this is gold. They all knew it, like, immediately. I saw you post, and then a few other ones are like, you're welcome, right? Like, but for the sake of this show, I want you to share with our audience, like, some of the ways that you use memes and how you thought of it. Because, man, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I watch this dude close high 6-7 figures every month using the funniest shit memes that you could imagine. And sometimes when people complain, then they lighten up a little bit. And then they're like when they complain, it's like, hey, man, you send them another meme, right? But go ahead, Dribby. Like, talk to us. Like, how did you come up with that in the first place?
Yeah, man. So I appreciate you recognizing that and the kind words on my sales skills. It's funny because I never really considered myself to be like this greatest sales guy. But I'm all about serving customers, right? And helping people. And so my main focus and really where I came up with the memes is like, I always wanted to be just a little bit different than every other sales guy, right? Like for our product, what we sell is not tangible. So there's a little more to it than just being like, you get this for this. So my thought was like, how do I stand out? How do I do something that shares my personality and relates with these individuals on a more personal level? Because at the end of the day, sales really, and you taught me this, comes down to two things: having empathy and having confidence. And the empathy comes from having that relatability, having that kind of rapport, that know, like, and trust factor, right? So what's a good way to get people to know you? You post funny stuff, you do silly things, and they laugh, and they're like, all right, yeah, this guy's all right.
Yeah, he must be cool.
Yeah, all right, I like this guy. And here's the secret: everybody loves memes. And when I say memes, like, and I got a book coming out on this, so we'll talk about that, but like, the idea of a meme is really just a transfer of information. So when you think about memes now, most people are like, oh, it's a picture with text, or it's a funny video, or whatever, right? So my thought is more like, no, it's a transfer of information. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, what conversation can I have with this person by sharing this meme? And
there's a 1,000-word conversation in each meme, right?
Exactly. And so they go on a much deeper psychological level because that's the way memes were originally founded. It's a biological thing. It goes back to Darwinism, right? Like one animal sees another animal do this thing, so it starts copying it and doing the same. When it comes to the sales side of memes, I was already using them as like funny responses on social media, right? So somebody would make a post and I would drop a funny meme in there that was related to the topic. Where it got into the selling side was going, hey man, I'm in sales, and if anybody's listening to this and you've been in sales for any length of a time, you've had a conversation that you thought was like for sure gonna close, like, yeah, this dude's in, I'm stoked, and then they went ghost. Poof, never responded. You send 100 messages, you're like, what the fuck? Like, this guy was in, what happened? So I had a handful of guys like that. I was a little frustrated one morning, and I thought, all right, I'm gonna do something I'm going to kind of, be a little dickish, but I'm also going to see if I can get some responses. So I went online and I found a meme of a dude. It was Ace Ventura. So in the movie Ace Ventura, Jim Carrey kind of like, he's in the fish tank, the dolphin tank, and he's like looking in the camera. And so there was just this picture of Jim Carrey looking in the camera like he was looking at the person on the other side of the screen. And across the bottom, it just said, "You there?" ? And I sent this meme off to 15 or 20 people and didn't think a whole lot of it until bing, bing, bing. I started getting responses from people that hadn't followed up with me in like 2, 3, 6 months.
Because now you're different.
Because now I'm different.
Yeah.
And they're like,
and now
oh,
you
shit.
anchored yourself as that branding person in their mind, too.
Correct. And so what I did there was psychologically I had a pattern interrupt, right? If you're into marketing, it's a pattern interrupt. Instead of sending the same copy-paste templated message like, hey, are you ready to buy? I want to follow up, just checking in. Like, that's very basic shit. I did something different. So now I was standing out. And again, when it comes to sales, there's a lot of other people that do what we do, so we got to stand out from the rest. So all of a sudden, I start getting these responses back from people that have ghosted me, and I went, well, hold on a second now. I just closed multiple 5 figures in sales off of this meme that I sent to people. There might be more to this.
I'm on to something here.
Yeah, so I hit up a couple of homies, and I'm like, hey, man, just go try this, see what happens. A couple guys hit me back. It's like, hey, man, I just put $1 million listing for a home up because I sent the guy a meme. And I went, oh, fuck, it's time.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how I really started understanding the power of it. And since then, man, I mean, you've seen it. I've done millions of dollars in sales. There's one meme in particular that I can track back to more than $5 million in closed deals. I use the same meme the same way every single time. People probably already know what it is. If you've bought from me in the past, you've gotten this meme more than likely. And fuck, man, it works. That's why I keep telling people about it.
It's Anthony Anderson in the yellow jacket looking through the tree, right? Yeah.
That is a great one too. Yeah. I've got several now, and I give them away for free. So we'll give them the plug on that later.
That's my favorite. Black dude, yellow suit, sitting on the other side of the tree. It's like, it's me looking for you, wondering why you ghosted me, right? Like people relate to that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? People relate to that. So, back in our day. Way back in the day, memes it wasn't easy to screenshot. You had to draw shit or rip it out of a magazine. So memes were like movie quotes and song lyrics.
Yep.
Right? So like in the early 2000s when I was in sales, I might say a quote from Tommy Boy or something like that when I'm sending an email back or whatever, right? And then GIFs became a thing, right? From chain emails, you could steal the GIFs from them, right?
Yep.
It kind of merged into them, but now you've created a whole movement around this in sales. Like, our Sales Talk with Sales Pros group, like they like have dubbed you the king of memes. Like when they think memes, they tag you in every one. They go create shit and they tag you like, do I have your approval?
Yeah.
So you've really built that brand around that. And I have watched you prove countless people wrong when they say, oh, I'm a lawyer or doctor or fucking some other stuff that is a real corporate thing. Memes won't work. It's like, well, maybe you don't send, provocative memes, but the memes are also memes that, motivational memes, like quotes from movies. It could be quotes from somebody who's an author. So there's lots of variations. Memes aren't always the degenerate ones Drewby and I share in our personal DMs, so.
Well, and I think that's the beautiful part about it, right? And this is really what I talk about in the Closer Memes course that we created, is about how to understand who that meme is for, right? If you want to take it back to marketing, it's like, who am I trying to have a conversation with? What kind of things are they interested in? What's the relatability factor that I can touch on? Because, hey, if I know I'm talking to a guy that's between 35 and 45 years old and he's interested in, some specific things, I can go and find a picture or an image or a quote from that genre and use it in the image and the marketing to get their attention. And now, instead of them seeing the preview on their phone notifications, it's like, hey, just following up. It's like, Drewby sent you a photo. Now your mind subconsciously is going, all right, well, what photo?
Oh, shit.
What, why is the sales dude sending me a photo? What's going on here, right? And so you're going to be just driven to open it up out of curiosity. Again, I'm digging deep on a psychological level here. Like, this is whole next level shit. Now the person opens it up and they see an image that they relate back to. And instantly their mind goes to a moment that they remember seeing that, right? There's that emotional connection to the imagery.
That anchor.
And the anchor, exactly. And then the mind's curiosity is like, well, what's different about this image, right? We all grew up looking at those highlights books like, hey, find the difference.
Yep.
That's how your mind operates on a daily basis. So when I send that image that you're familiar with, but then I've added my own contextual layer to it with the quote or the words, now you're connected, right? And so, again, the whole point is just getting you engaged and then creating that emotional response.
So what I would like for you to do for the audience is give them like not the whole damn thing, right? Because like the game is to be sold, not told, right?
Of course.
But give them some pointers how they can set up some arsenals, some fast ways, like ways that they can pick which memes would apply to their audience, maybe some examples and stuff like that. So
yeah, so my favorite way to help people come up with memes is really starting to look at objections, right? So whether you're using it for your branding and your marketing,
what problems keep coming up?
Yeah, what are the common things that your clients are facing?
We could say like ghosting. What else?
We could do ghosting. I like a before and after meme. So like if you provide a service where it's like, hey, we're going to do this, it's like before and after memes are great. I also like to look at ones where it talks about like
talking to the wife, maybe.
Yeah, talking to the wife is a good one. Money problems, right? A lot of people are always like, hey, I don't have the money. Yep. So it's like, hey man, no problem. Like it really just depends on the objection, right? What are the objections, and then the response that you would give to that objection? Because if you're great in sales, there's a couple, 3-4 objections that are common, and you've got the response queued up and ready to go. If you don't, we could talk about closer cards and how you could have some other options ready to rip. But
that's what I'm saying. You could cross that over with your closer cards, which are basically your objections and rebuttals on the back and front of closer cards, paired up with, hey, when I get this, send this meme and this response. Bam. You know what
exactly,
I'm saying?
right? So
it's juiced.
Yep. So now you've got your little like, hey, I know what the common issues are. Here's a meme that I can use, because once you've got the objections, now you're thinking about, okay, who is my client audience? Like, am I talking to men? Am I talking to women? Am I talking to kids or older people, right? So now you can start really cherry picking the context of the meme because you want it to be relatable. Yeah. If I send you a meme from a Nickelodeon's kids show that you've never seen, unless it's a really good fucking meme, you're going to be like, I don't get it. But if I send you something from Friends or Seinfeld, now you're like, oh shit, I remember that episode.
Yep.
This guy, is he really calling me out with a meme right now? I like this guy.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what he has to say.
It's passive accountability. But here's the thing I want the audience to understand is that this isn't just some fly by the night, us sharing some bullshit. Like Drewby has templates, and when our new salespeople come in and they start, the first thing he does is he shares his arsenal of objections and memes that go along with the objections and the follow-up that goes along with these memes for the guys. Like, this is a part of our company culture at this point. And the folks that think that they shouldn't use memes or whatever that come here that are from some stuffy background, they never last. They never do. You know, but because maybe to the outsiders, and this is something that we should consider around here, to the outsiders, they think, oh, well, these are just memes. But as you just clearly articulated, these are things that these are pictures that we are trying to anchor certain responses in the prospect. Marshall Silver once told me, he's like, you should always use every tool that you have in the bag. Like, never think, oh, I don't want to use that because I might overstep. He's like, man, you should have every tool laid out on the table. And memes are one of those tools, especially if you paired it up with objections and you have a plan for it. You're not just randomly sharing an offensive ass meme with Barry in the clouds or some stuff. So how's the weather today? And they're all fucking pissed off at you because their kid's on the family plan and sees that shit too, you know?
So let's pause for a second and let's
that
make
was a lot of culture for one quote.
That was a whole lot of goodness in one quote. But let's be honest though, because it is very easy for people to go too far with memes.
Yeah.
Right? Again, you can really touch on that line of like PC with a meme and say some things that maybe you couldn't get away with saying contextually. But again, man, don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, if you just spam somebody with a bunch of memes, like, that's not going to go well for you. But when you're very specific and you have a very catered response and you understand who you're having a conversation with, it's just like when you go into the country club, you're not using the ghetto slang and the hood rat shit that you did when you were growing up. Like, you learn where you're at and what kind of conversation to have. And the same thing applies with memes. Because, again, it's just as easy to cancel culture. You send something provocative or you post a meme that's a little bit too far over the edge. And, I mean, that's a good way to get yourself into some trouble. So me personally, I always say, hey, do right by people, be a good person, and, you know, ask for forgiveness later, but try not to be a jerk.
Yeah. And one thing that he mentioned is, like, send them one meme. Don't, like, hit them with 4 or 5 at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, don't get too damn creative. Just stick to what's working. Just send them one meme. There is I would say a 9 out of 10 chance that they're going to reply to you, even if they didn't like the meme or don't get it. Like, because all you're trying to do in sales is get them back on the hook. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're fishing, they nibble, they're swimming away. It's like, we got to get them back to the hook, right? And that meme is that bait that gets them back to the hook. Now, they might reply to you and you send them the wrong meme or something that went over their head because maybe they never seen that movie because they're nerds or whatever the case may be, or they don't get the reference. And they might say, what is the purpose of this? Like, don't get all pissed off. Hey, you just brought a fucking dead lead back to life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, thank you, Jesus, literally, right? So then that meme, even though it may not have resonated with them, may have went over their head, we got them to respond. And that's what we're always doing in sales, is keep getting them to respond until they respond with money, you know?
That's really the thing, man, and that's why I went to using them, because I had done all the typical canned responses. Yeah. I had done the value, and hey, man, here's a blog post, and here's a video, and I was just thinking about you, and hey, happy birthday, man. Like,
just
hope you're well.
Circling back.
Just wanted to touch base again, make sure you got your problem solved, right? Like, I've done all that, and now I know from thousands and thousands and thousands of conversations, if I place a meme in the right place at the right time, there is a level of trust that gets built that is far superior to any script or any conversation that you can have, because psychologically there's just a deeper connection. And again, man, when it comes to sales, empathy, confidence. I listen to you. I understand what your problem is. I'm empathetic with it, and I'm confident that I can help you fix it. What do you want to do about it?
Yeah, if you're out there listening, and you use memes already, first, make sure you're a member of the Sales Talk with Sales Pros group, but drop some of your best sales memes in the group. Say, I was listening to the podcast, guys. Here's some of mine, because we want to see what's working for you. Drop a meme in the group and tell the story about how maybe you first started using it, or the funniest time someone's responded that you made a sale. Because look, we get bored as fuck running that group. We like fun shit, and we like the moderators are listening to this episode. All memes are going to be approved, right? That are appropriate. Y'all ain't finna get us kicked the fuck off of Facebook. But like, no political memes, please, but your best sales memes, We want to hear the stories behind them because I think that shit's, hilarious. Because I've seen Drewby like almost daily in our group chat will send a post or send a screenshot where he's like, I sent a meme and I've been following up with this dude for 2.5 years now or whatever the fuck. And he just bought because I sent him this meme. Like every day there's something. It's like, 4 months of doing this. Sent him a meme today. Got him. Right. Like I see it every single day and from the other guys too. So memes are strong. Because of that, Drewby and I collaborated and he created a course called Closer Memes. We did that like prior to the pandemic too, right?
December of 2019 we launched that.
We had no idea any of this shit was coming. Like, I still remember, just a side note with you being here, the day that like they shut the state down and I was like, oh hell no, we're still going to work, right? And I show up that following Monday and I was like, look man, I don't know what's going on, but I'll sell cars, mortgage my house, whatever, to make sure that we make it through this shit. Just don't stop showing up. That was like, just don't stop showing up. But during that time we had to pivot, and that was like the perfect product because people got really in 2020. People got really short on money. They were until the stimulus checks hit, man, and people were scared as hell. And we had this product selling for $100 that was like perfect timing that really put us ahead for the year. So how is Closer Memes? How's it work? Like what all's in there?
Yeah, so in Closer Memes, what I did is I kind of took our process, right? Why the memes are powerful, how they work, how to come up with them, what the best resources were for templates and ideas, right? And I boiled it down into like an hour's worth of training because we're all busy. Ain't nobody got time to spend 17 hours learning this shit.
Yep.
Like, hey man, couple quick courses. Go through it, understand who you're talking to, how it works, what objections to use, where to find the best templates, what kind of ideas to use with those templates, and then addition to my group where I've got literally thousands of memes and ideas that you can take and learn and repurpose for yourself. Because I've every day for the last 3 years been creating at least 2 to 3 new memes for our community. So whether it's a follow-up meme or a branding meme, I mean, you can find ideas and templates that you can just literally go and swipe. Or yourself or someone on your team can go through the course and learn how to access the resources and really go deep on what you do.
Yeah, so imagine I get to learn from somebody who just for 3 years, he's been doing this for long, but just for 3 years has consistently added shit every day. And that's one of the things I like about Drewby is he's consistent. You can count on him. Once he starts something, he doesn't quit. It's like that's just part of his life. That's how I am too. I think that's why we get along so well. It's like, what are you on 500 episodes of your podcast or something like that?
Yeah, 500 episodes on my personal podcast, more than 150 interviews for our Apex clients. Like, I ain't stopping.
Yeah, content machine. So this isn't just some behind the scenes person that I brought on here to say something. This is a person that's on the front lines doing this shit and winning. Man, I don't know anybody closing more than you. Maybe they're out there in our industry, but I don't know anybody. So when the number one guy tells you, hey, use memes, you should fucking use memes. So how do they get their hands on Closer Memes?
Closermemes.com.
Well, hot damn, that's brilliant.
Easy, right? Makes sense. Simplicity sells, Ryan. I think you taught me that early, right? Keep it simple sells.
Yeah.
So closermemes.com. You can buy the course. If you don't want to spend $50, you're kind of a fool. But I'll give you some free game anyways. Go to top10closermemes.com. I'll give you my top 10 memes that I've ever used. These memes are responsible for nearly 8 figures in sales. So if you just want free shit, top10closermemes.com. If you want to spend $50 and make an infinite ROI, go to closermemes.com instead.
Drewby over here feeding kangaroos like a zookeeper. Shit.
They need help too, brother. Everybody needs a little help. That's why that product is so good, because even the guys that want to get started at a foundational level can use it and find massive success.
So if you don't have money and you go get the free shit and you make sales and you do have money, at least do the right thing and pay back the toll to my man Drewby over here. So anything you want to say before we let him bounce?
No, man, I appreciate you bringing me on to share that. I think it's a very underrated tool that a lot of sales professionals could be using, and they're not. So I hope somebody listens to this and takes action on it. And like Ryan said, man, go to the Sales Talk with Sales Pros group and share that story, because that shit fires me up.
Yeah, and it'll fire the other people in the group up too, and memes are funny. Right.
And memes are the best.
All right, rise above, y'all.